Hey guys, welcome back again to Ken Tamplin Vocal Academy, where the proof is in the singing. I want to do a vocal coach reaction to Stone Temple Pilots. Obviously, the lead vocalist is Scott Weiland, and I chose the song Plush. So let's just get right into it. Here we go. Now, before we get started, I have to say I've always loved this Led Zeppelin influenced intro, and so it's been refreshing way back then in the grunge days when someone would come in with something really melodic like that, because Nirvana didn't care about that so much. I think Nirvana cared more about, stepping outside the box and doing chord changes that were not so typical, but this Zeppelin piece was a refreshing thing for me way back in the day. Here we go. Let's see, Scott, what do you got? Here we go.
And I feel time's a ways to go. So where you going to tomorrow? And I see the things that lies to come. So would you even care?
Okay, now, remember we just did a thing about Eddie Vedder, and we talked about him having like marble mouth, right? It's through that, and we did even flow. I don't know when I'm going to release these, so I don't know if that's coming out first or this coming out, first. But anyway, note that he's also closing down and times are worse and go, right? He's not doing it so much as Eddie Vedder, but he is still doing it to contemporize and sing in a modern rock vocal sound, which is not so modern now because it's been out since the 90s. But anyway, all right, let's continue. Now his distortion is a little bit more safe than Eddie Vedder's. We talked about that again in the Eddie Vedder. And I feel it, and she feels it. See, it's kind of more open in the sound. By the way, I did a version of this song too. I'll put this in the description as well, and you can see how I stacked up to Stone Temple Pilots as far as the song Plushes goes. I only did one song, and Scott Weiland has a pretty wide range of different sounds that he creates, but this is one that really, I think, emphasizes this era a lot. So let's continue. And what I love, and I need her now when the dogs begin to smell her. He's got a natural tone to him. He's not forcing the sound, so it sounds a lot more natural to me, and not, again, as contrived or rehearsed. So I like that. That's really cool. And I like his tone. He's got a good tone, man. A little like Lane Staley, a little bit. Okay, one more thing too. The band is actually pretty tight too. In the grunge era, a lot of the guys they were almost borderline punk in the way they kind of presented their instrumentation. And in fact, when we did Even Flow, even though they're a fairly tight band, they're still a little looser. This band had a lot more of a tight stuff. In fact, all the stuff that Chris Cornell did too, that stuff was pretty doggone tight as well. So they started to kind of move from being a little sloppy in the instrumentation to a little bit, more on their game, so to speak. All right.
And I feel so much depends on the weather. So is it raining in your bedroom? And I see him. This way. Would you even care?
Nice break. I like that break. I get the feeling that this is pretty effortless for him. I don't feel like he's like, you know, trying to sell me something as far as just overpowering me with energy and this and that, whatever. It's just him singing naturally, which is really nice. I appreciate that. I love that. You know, he opened up this, well, right? Try that. If you guys rock guys out there, go start clean, go, well, and then go, well, push it a little bit, well, then push it a little bit more, well, you know, you can kind of get that tone and see how he got to that place. It's a lot safer than just kind of going right to it. So start with a cleaner tone first, you know, get it, a lay of the land, get your nice open throat vowels together, and then little by little you can start to lean into the sound to get this kind of tone, okay? To find it. To find it, yeah. You can kind of get him that song. One more thing about this is, as you're going through too, notice there are no background vocals. So it's really hard to create all that energy and not have, you know, I mean, this was coming off the 80s, right? Where Bon Jovi and Def Leppard and all these guys did all these tracks and just a ton of like, you know, album, you know, they lifted the vocals right off the album. They played to a click and they shot out these giant background vocals. This is the complete antithesis of that, the opposite of that, where it's really stripped down and it's really raw. And that's what people really loved about this era, was it was a lot more honest than, you know, someone go, you know, looked at, you know, Yngwie Malmsteen on guitar and they said, I can never do that. There's not enough hours in the day to do that, and I don't even know if I'm qualified or if I'm capable of doing that. So then they went to something a lot more honest, which is this sound here. So that's actually that Nirvana and all the other bands that came through here. I think was what turned people on about this sound, was going, yeah, I can relate. Yeah, you know, this makes sense to me. So. All right, well, hopefully you guys found this information helpful, and I'm going to continue to do these because I think I've gotten a lot of great response from you guys. I have a singing course, and I will keep talking about this, but again, I cover all this stuff in my singing course called How to Sing Better Than Anyone Else. And you know what? Instead of even getting the course, just stop by my singing forums. It's free. Go join up at KenTamplinVocalAcademy.com and just look at all the, you know, now there's 22 or 3,000 people. There's a lot of people in there, and we're going through talking about how to get to all these places. We do vocal critiques, we do evaluations for singing songs and doing, you know, the course, etc. And that part of it's free, so check it out. All right, God bless you guys, and until next time, peace out. Hey guys, if you like what you heard, please like and subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button. That will actually take you to another page where you want to click on the bell icon, and it opens up a menu, and the menu has notifications on it where there's a little box you can check where it says send me all notifications for this channel. Check the box and then click the save button, and you'll get notifications from me every time I have a cool video come out. Okay? Thanks guys. Peace out.